Hey everyone, welcome to Mambo Merge office hours. Today is June 13th and it is 10 a.m. Pacific, which means it's time for our monthly round of Mambo Merge. Oh, I can hear my own voice coming out of my phone now, which means the stream is working, but that needs to be muted or I will go a little crazy. I am joined today by Cynthia. Hi, Cynthia.
Hi, Chris. How are you?
I am excellent. And I'm excited because today is a special edition of Office Hours. We're going to be looking at the Summer 24 release of Mambo Merge and some of the new features, updates, and upgrades that are headed to orgs everywhere, right?
Yes, yeah, we're going to be showing the summer release. We'll be taking a look more at the performance edition. That's our newest edition. We've covered some of the other features of it in the past, but this one's got a really great upgrade coming.
Awesome. And typically, this is the part of the webinar where I would say, I'm going to give everyone about a minute to join in. But because this is live on YouTube, anyone running late will be able to watch it back anyway. And I don't want to keep folks waiting. So, Cynthia, I'm going to put your screen up on the wall here. I'm going to remove myself and we can jump in.
All right. So at this stage, we're just going to assume that you already have Mambo Merge installed and you know how to add it to the page. If for any reason that you haven't gotten that far in exploring Mambo Merge and want a little guidance on that, you can always go to our website at mambomerge.com and go to our support section. There's walkthrough, or check out the other videos on our YouTube. There's walkthroughs where I've stopped and slowly explained each step for you guys. But since we've already done it, what we're going to do is go to our component here that I have on my opportunity page, and we're going to hit Studio on the drop down, and everything's looking the same. You're not seeing too much of a difference. There's a little bit maybe happening here that looks different, but nothing too elaborate. Um, Still have these buttons. So we're going to go ahead and hit new routine. So what am I going to be showing you before I go a little bit further is an HTML template editor that we have built in. Again, this is for the premium edition. It's not going to be for full speed or not premium, performance, excuse me, performance edition. And that one is about $49.99. You can find more information on the pricing page on our website, mambomerge.com. I believe just add slash pricing and you'll get to it. But also the toolbar is going to help you find it too. But like I mentioned, we did go over some of the abilities that that has already. One of the few ones that you might remember if you've seen other videos is adding a watermark to your PDF or adding passwords to PDFs. So this one is now we are going to be able to build a template for an HTML file without having to leave Salesforce. So if you remember from previous videos when we're going through the routine wizards, there's a moment where we pause and we go, are we building the template? Have we built the template? Or are we going to try and build it afterwards? This one is going to be seamless. We'll be going through, never have to leave Salesforce and complete our routine and then test already. So that's what's happening, what we're going to look at. Again, I'm not going to go over too much of all the different pages in the routine wizard. I'd recommend the website and the YouTube videos that we've previously had to go over items in detail, but I will cover stuff as it is relevant. So on this record page, the first page, it's set to opportunity. We're on opportunity. Yes, I want to work with opportunity. And we're just going to do a single record merge. So just a one off. I'm not going to add any relationships. I don't need anything special. And then we're on the merge data page. There is something new here that's happening. Before we would go and highlight, and yes, it could be kind of tedious, and then copy and then paste into a template. But now we can just click these little buttons here and I've copied it and I can go and take and paste it into my template. Um, we're not building a template in Word or Google Docs today. So I don't need to show this feature, but I did want you guys to be aware that like now, peace of mind, it's just a little click of the button. You've grabbed it. Now you can take it to the next stage. So going to the next page is our templates page. Again, doesn't look too different first off, but then you realize, yeah, over here, something new is happening. We still have that checkbox for upload a template at the time of merge. That's that drag and drop where we in some use cases, people are okay having the template saved locally on the computer. Maybe it's a one-time Mambo Merge user and not more than 5 people. More people you have using Mambo Merge and having to be in charge of templates, the less we recommend you having them drag and drop files from their computer locally. But usually smaller companies, it's not going to be a big deal if somebody has the template saved and they're just dragging it. But this guy here used to be 2 button options. Now it is a button with a drop down, and you can see the 2 button options that we were looking for: add a blank template or upload a template. And then there's that create HTML template. So that's what we're going to do today. And bam, right here it is, the glorious WYSIWYG editor that we have. It's going to look a little familiar because we try to always make sure that Salesforce knowledge is what's going to be used with your Mambo Merge experience. So you'll be able to see, yes, these are the fonts. This is going to let me make it a different color. This one's going to also do a background change if I needed to get that crazy with my document. Bold, the bullet points, and then, the placement of my actual document, left, center, or right. And then the great thing is that merge data field is all right here. And I get to see this merge field. I get to see my values, and we can also paste it in. So we're going to be making an invoice. It's not going to be the most elaborate invoice because that would take too long if I was going to actually try to make a really complex document here for you guys. But let's say I wanted to put a logo in. I don't have a logo for my imaginary company, but we could say this is my logo. I'm going to go ahead and place it to my left. Oh, there it is. And then we'll put enter. And obviously I want the rest of my document to go to the left. I'm sorry, I said that was my left. That's my right. That's where I put my logo. On the right, everything else is on the left. And then we'll imagine maybe it says my company invoice. That's what's happening there. And then we'll obviously want to put today's date on this documentation. So I would go to functions, and then here is the current date option. I pop it in and it put it in for me. If you're not used to Mambo Merge, if you're not used to making a document, and you've stumbled on our live for some weird reason, why am I excited about this? Well, if you missed it, normally we would have to highlight stuff, copy it, paste it into a document on another page, but here we are, we're adding it here. So I put my today's date. This is an invoice. I'm probably going to need my account info. So let's see. We click on account. And then we're going to add our account name. And we can add in shipping. We probably won't go and click everything. And you know what? I don't want my shipping with my name next to each other. So new line. We'll go with, what is it? State. No, it's zip code. No, it's city. I send mail, I promise you. State, then zip code. Where is the postal code? There it is. And we'll want to make a space there so things actually are readable. All right. And then I'm going to need also the products because this is an invoice. So let's see. We can also put in some more information. So I could type normally. So here's we'll put this as order ID. So I can type as normal. I could do, we can make this bold because this is going to be something that I want the user to see. And then I don't want the actual info to be bold. So then I will unbold it. There we go. You can see I can start doing customizing stuff pretty well. And then, like I mentioned, we want to be able to add in the products that they're purchasing for my invoice. So I'll probably go ahead and hit this guy right here. What is this? This is that for each loop that lets me go through all of my opportunity line items, which is a related object. So you can always grab related objects and use it with a for each. But this is going to allow me to tell Mambo Merge, hey, there's probably going to be more than one. It's going to vary between records. Go ahead. You're going to pull in whatever information I put in between these two merge fields, the opening and closing. And then I'm going to have you repeat that until you've gone through all of them. So I'm going to want a new line every time it goes to the next one. So there's like at least some space. And I'm going to go ahead and want to have it do maybe a bullet point so that I can see it pretty well. And like, let's see what fields we can get. So you can see I should already be seeing that there are 3 of these records in there. I can select either one of them to get the field that I need. But if I wanted to double check, what is going to happen when I pull in the name of the second one in the list? What's going to happen if I pull in the pricing? Does everything have everything filled out? So it's a safety measure in my peace of mind to know what I should expect when I fill this out. But for the most part, we can grab the fields from any of them. So I'm going to have name. And just so that I can have a little design going on here, we'll put that line there. And we'll go ahead and put the list price. Let's see. Also go ahead, maybe not put a slash because somebody might mistake it as, oh, this list price will be for however many you're listing. But no, I want it to show list price and then the quantity. So that straight line will probably be much less confusing. So I put my quantity there. And so far, not the most glamorous invoice, but I want you guys to be able to see rather than sit here, watch me make a whole document. So we'll go ahead. We can save up here what we've already done, or we can preview. So we'll go ahead and hit it. And I broke something. It happens. But let's see. Maybe my image here is messing this up. So let's go and make this simple for me here. I've probably done something. User error happens. Don't panic. So we've done this. We'll hit preview again. There we go. So probably maybe my image might have been the bullets. I'll figure that out in a second. But you can see what I have here. Not the prettiest one. I know. Not what you're going to send out, but you're going to spend more time building it. But we can make it more customizable. But it's great because now I can test. I don't have to go edit the template, put it in, test it, see what I liked, see what I didn't like. I saw it live. That fix was quick. I didn't have to go, oh my God, I broke the whole template. What do I do? I didn't spend hours customizing it. I was able to preview it, see something wasn't working just a little bit, and then preview it again. So that's a really great thing about it. So let's see, what can I do to make it a little bit nicer, a little bit prettier? We could probably add in some color. Who knows? Let's do this. We'll go ahead, we'll highlight these guys, and we'll go ahead and change the background color. So like, let's say, try and grab a Mambo Merge color here if I can get it as close as I can. Doesn't quite look like Mambo Merge colors, but as close as I can. Let's see what happens. And we will preview if I did that right. Yeah, bam. Not, again, I'm trying to show you guys what it can do, not really make the most glamorous invoice that we can have. That would take too long. But that these features do work. We can do what we need to. If we needed this, we could have it go to the right side so that things are customizable. And then, you know, you're able to keep going, adding to the document page as much as you need. I can also add in conditionals here. And that's another cool thing. So you saw with the for each, I put it down, then I could go in and edit it. but there's also these functions and the conditionals here. So let's see. We'll do a conditional that's just a simple one. So if it's true, display what I'm going to want you to display. So we'll go ahead and we'll put this. You can see field name is highlighted. That's highlighted so that I can go scroll down here, look for the field that I need. Let's see. I'll say is closed. You can see here this one is false. So whatever is going to be that I want to display here is not going to display in the preview. I'm going to go ahead and change the value to true. We can have it capped, so we can have it lowercase. It's not case sensitive. And then this is the part where whatever's going to appear. I'm going to go ahead and make a space so that we can see clearly. But if it was closed, I'm going to say thank you for choosing our services. So then if this user did find a close and the invoice was sent out to them, they would get that little message. If for some reason we sent out this invoice, it wasn't closed and they got it, they wouldn't have that message. So that's what's going to happen. We'll go ahead and preview. We shouldn't see it. Nope, it didn't appear. Perfect. So that's working wonderfully for us. Let's try to do one where it'll actually appear. And we'll do it with if the amount is less than or equal to. Let's go ahead and we'll go with a basic number. Math, amount. So if the amount is less than, what is it, 250,000, we'll put 300,000. And we'll put, you are one of our top star customers. Thank you for choosing us. All right, so if true, make sure that I got this right. If true, that my amount is less than or equal to 300,000, this message should appear and the other one shouldn't appear. So let's go ahead, hit preview. Bam, there it is. So this conditionals can be so confusing at first when you're trying to do it. So this is going to like help you write out that conditional. I didn't have to go and before, like I said, you would have to like highlight just the amount, not the curly brackets, paste it in. I mean, amount, we could have typed it in, but you know, for these more complicated ones, that's where that highlighting and making sure you got only that, or sometimes we accidentally get the curly braces in there and throw it inside the conditional. And it's a mess of things, and being able to like preview after each step what it's going to look like and how it's happening is pretty great. So then let's say this is finished for me. I'm happy with this. What do I do? There's still so many other little tabs that we could check out. We can add an image. We saw that earlier. We could do the hyperlink. We could do strikeout, underline, you know, everything you need. I could change my font if I really wanted to. But we're good with this. So we go ahead, we hit save document. I can name it. This is my invoice template. I'll name it 1 so I know in the future that maybe this isn't the final one, just for my peace of mind. And we go ahead and we hit Mambo Merge templates. I go ahead and hit save and close, or I could hit save and keep editing, you know, because always save. When you have a chance, save. I don't know if you have been working on a document or maybe marketing images or been anywhere where you needed to save something and for some weird reason the universe decides to shut off your computer, disconnect. Always save. It's going to help you so long. So we'll go ahead and hit save and close. We're not going to keep editing. We're back in the routine wizard. Awesome. I didn't leave my browser. I didn't leave Salesforce. I've been here the whole time. it saves seconds. Which seconds leads to minutes. And that's really all that Mambo Merge is really trying to do. Stop those seconds and minutes to piling up to be hours and extending all the work. That's the little things to provide you more time to work on the meaty task of your job, really. So here we are, label. This is going to be whatever our button or drop down option is that lets us choose the template that we're going to merge. I'm going to be real basic. We only have one template, so I'm going to hit merge. Maybe I'll put invoice because I know I'm going to forget what merge was when I come back and look at this. But we can choose our destination here. This is a single record, so I get pretty much all of the options I can think of. Attach to the record itself, saving to a library if I really wanted to. I don't have, I don't have a library other than my Mambo Merge template library. I don't want to save in there with my final document, so we won't do that. I could attach it to a specific record. So if I always wanted all these files to go to one person, maybe they're in charge of it, or maybe it's all an object for some reason that's going to hold everything. It comes up. It's a weird situation, but somebody's got a use case for it. And then download immediately. That's my favorite personally, especially when I'm testing. It saves it locally to my computer. I don't have a whole bunch of files in my Salesforce that are just piling up. But attached to the record is probably going to be the one that you want when you're finally using it in your production live. As you can see, my template file here is invoice template 1. I can click this edit to go in and edit again. So if I need to come back, edit the routine, edit the template, I could come here, go in there, and it pops open the editor for me again. My generated file name, by default, it chooses the name of your template file. That's cool and dandy. Again, I want to encourage you to be kind to future self. I know it's easy to be like future self will deal with that, but no. We're going to go ahead and do what I like to do. I like to use the merge fields. So I go invoice, name, maybe if I finish the merge field correctly, and then today, in case for any reason, I will be able to tell that the invoice that I generated is for a particular record. And if for any reason that I needed to go back and change something in the record and now a new invoice needs to be made, I can see that there's one from 2 weeks ago and there's one from 2 days ago. Which one do I need? Probably the one from 2 days ago. So that'll be in there. And yes, Salesforce does put that information. You can see it, but sometimes it's easier on the name of it, especially if you are downloading immediately to computer. So like I said, it's going to help future you know what's going on rather than naming things as test 1 or test or invoice or anything like that. This will help, I promise, save you. So we'll go ahead, we'll hit next. We've filled out everything. Here we are with our backup dancers. They do any kind of actions that we need to happen post-merge. So we can either update a record, we can save a task. Let's say I did this invoice. I could put in, I want to have somebody reach out for payment in 10 days to make sure that, hey, did you get that invoice? Did you do this? Are we going to get paid? You know, that kind of thing. And you can put deadlines on that. So just to show you what they look like, let's go ahead. We're not going to put any. I don't really need any for right now, but update record, you can see you could keep adding as many as you need to. So if a lot of things needed to be updated, you could. Maybe I need the close date to be set once that invoice is made. I can also set it to the merge date, or I could have a set date that it always goes to. Usually you're going to probably use that merge date. So like maybe it's not the close date. Maybe you make a field that says, when was the invoice generated? We can have that field and then have it update after the invoice is made. So that's always good. Save task. It looks like this. Like I said, reach out about payment. Obviously not with terrible writing. So reach out. And then I could say not started, in progress, completed, waiting on someone, probably waiting on somebody. And I'm gonna be like, 10 days from now, guys, that's what we want. The other ones are to send an email out. That would be a great use case for this HTML template instance. You know, you're sending out an HTML file attachment. It's going to look nice. There's also the fourth one, which is launch a screen flow. That one is for more complicated things that maybe aren't quite exactly what we have so far with these backup dancers. Maybe you want another step in your process to be initiated. So you want them to move on to the next task, guys. We've generated the document. Maybe that's what you need. Or one time we had somebody that wanted to send the email out with to 2 people. So yes, it goes out to the client, but I also want the department head to get it. Maybe that's what's going to happen. So the ScreenFlow one is to just allow you to use Mambo Merge and get really into the more complex steps that you want to have, so that Mambo Merge is now a part of this smooth transition that you probably have in the process that you're doing. So I'm actually not going to add any of these. We don't really need them. I'm actually going to be at that testing stage, really. So don't want to add those buttons yet. So we're now on the save routine. Again, I'm going to get on another little soapbox here and say, name this something that makes sense, but keep it simple. Something that you'll be able to, be future you look at it and go, yes, oh, this is an invoice. Totally good. That's what I'm going to name it. Invoice routine. I could put invoice routine HTML file done Tuesday, monthly, whatever. I could keep going and make it huge. That's great. I'll know exactly what it is in the future, but don't put that in your routine ID. Put that in your description field that we provide here, so that when you come back and you're editing your routine, you know what's happening, why you have certain things. Maybe why are you sending an email with this invoice? Why are we updating a task to do this with it? That way you know what you're looking at when you go in to edit it. But when it's coming to the routine ID, this is how we know on the component what's happening, basic stuff, just so that we can also assign it. It's easier to remember invoice. All right, I'm down the soapbox. We don't have to worry anymore. I'll find something else to tell you guys about. But then we have our display types here. This is just so that, we could choose what it looks like. I mean, I only have one, so drop down seems like overkill. Button is probably going to be good. There is checkbox. You can see it has a little tooltip here. What is great about checkbox is, other than you get the option of square over circle with radio, checkbox lets you choose more than one template to be merged at a time. I only have one, so really, if I use checkbox, it's just me saying I like squares more than circles. But if we had more than one template, then I am building out the option for my users to go, hey, go ahead and build this document for me, generate this document, and generate this one. We're doing everything at once. I know it's all good. So that's really great once you've had everything set up and, everybody knows what they're doing. It's pretty awesome. So we'll go ahead. I'm going to leave it on button because I only have one. There is the show routine ID. It does show it just on the bottom there. It's really great for when you're testing out all your routines and building it up. Not a lot of use case in production or live, but somebody somewhere probably enjoys having it there too. That's why we make it kind of small, inconspicuous. It's just there for knowing if you have more than one component on a page, because you can have as many components as you like. You can go crazy. Nobody's done 100 components on a page. I don't know what that would do, but if you want to be the first one to try it out, show us a picture. All right, so we've built it. We have our routine here. It's named invoice. I didn't put a good bit of description here because I didn't have it, but you could see you can add those in and be able to be clear about everything. It's going to save you time in the future. So invoice, we close it. We're on the page. My button's not there. This is the extra step. and you probably know it from watching the other videos, but we go up to our gear icon. This is also how we add it to the page if you did not know how to do that yet. So little introduction of information there too. So this is a Lightning app builder. This is how you customize your Lightning web pages. You can add components, remove them, get really customized. In the center is the preview. On the left side is the components and fields you can add to the page. And on the right side panel is the customization for those components that you click on. So you could click on these components and you see it changes a little. If I was adding Mambo Merge to the page, I could scroll down to the bottom to the custom package apps that we have there. But we could also type it in search, but you can see down here custom, there's my little orange logo for Mambo Merge. I would click and drag it on. So I'm here, here's the Mambo Merge component. You can see it says routine/template ID. So if you were using our freestyle edition, which is the free version, doesn't have all the cool bells and whistles, but it does help you generate a single document. You can assign a template ID here for the file, but because we're using our paid version, we get to put in the actual routine. Now I could hit save and that'd be good, but I'm gonna go ahead and click here so that you guys can see, boom, it shows me the updated preview. There's my button. I could go ahead and hit save. I do wanna show real quick what these other features are so you guys aren't clueless. This is just to change the field notation. By default, Mambo Merge uses those double curly brackets. There are other apps that people like to use that sometimes use similar looking merge field, but those are going to be conflicting, so we could always change it. That's all that is. We're not doing that today, no worries. Debug mode is if we needed to do troubleshooting, and set component visibility is if we wanted to not have everybody see this. So those are just a quick explanation. We'll save. Changes saved. You can see it right there. It's disappearing. I go back. Now we can test our template and get that HTML file. You can see that it's giving me a link here. I can click that. That lets me open it right away and download save to my computer. We can scroll down here and we can also see that it's saved there. But let's go ahead and see what that looks like. There it is. This is exactly what we saw in our preview. So I'm not surprised. I could go and try it with now other records so that I know everybody is coming out exactly as I want them, because always test. Don't just take the first one and go, it's done. No, always make sure everything comes out as you would like it to come out. Now I know maybe I don't like it on the left or on the right because it doesn't end up even. I'll put it on the left now. And maybe I wouldn't have noticed that because this one might have come out perfectly. But if somebody else had something else, I would be able to change it. So that is using our new WYSIWYG editor to create an HTML template. If there was anything that I covered, let me know. We can go and look at it real quick. Back to you, Chris.
Cool. Thank you so much, Cynthia. And thank you, everybody who has been tuned in and watching. I know we are a little bit past the 10:30 time, so if anybody has to jump off, I completely understand. But we will hang out and do a couple of questions. If you have questions yourself, feel free to throw them into the chat here. I have the magical ability to take comments from the chat and produce them on the screen. And I put a question in there, so we'll see what that looks like now. My question, and I think I know the answer, is what does WYSIWYG mean?
WYSIWYG. Honestly, I have to look that up, but
Okay, so I actually know this one. So
good. All right. You caught me off
it comes
guard.
up in a lot of marketing tools because us marketers are notoriously visual and not so notoriously adept at code. So WYSIWYG is I don't know what you call it when you take an acronym and you turn it into a word you can pronounce,
Right.
but it's what you see is what you get. So the ability to visually make changes to, in this case, a template, but often like an email template or a web page, but an editor that instead of making adjustments and then looking at a preview, you're making your adjustments exactly in the way that you want to see them. So that's WYSIWYG, and it's fun to say.
Yes. Oh, it's great.
Cool. And I don't see any other questions on the chat. But if you think of anything later, of course, you can comment them on this video and we will get back to you in the replies of the comments. You can also message support. I also do want to shout out, Cynthia had mentioned mambomerge.com/pricing as a place to find that pricing. So I figured I would throw that URL up on the screen there. And then last but not least, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for watching. We do these office hours rounds monthly, typically a little bit more focused on Q&A, potential back and forth, and an opportunity for customers and non-customers to recommend functionality that they would like to see in future releases. And then 3 times a year, we get to do these where we show off what is a result of everybody's input. So thank you for watching. Thank you so much, Cynthia, for walking us through that. And we will see you next time. Bye.